Surprise! Hello, my beautiful soul tribe. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new here. This will be I think it's our first ever Friday night weekend forecast. I'm sure I've done one in the past, but I'm not sure why I didn't keep doing them. So we'll make it a little bit more official. How are you guys? Hi, Jay Cherie. No list. No list tonight. Collective reading, guys. No list. Just a collective reading. Let's look at the weekend forecast. Let's see what's in store for the collective. Hi. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Blessings. I thought we'd pull out a little Todd Alcott, one of my favorites. I set my intentions for this in every reading. May they be a source of inspiration and discernment on your healing journey. And may God grant favor and grace to anyone and everyone who is tapping in. Yes, a surprise live. I thought we would test it out. If it goes well tonight, I perhaps will add a regular Friday collective reading for our lives. I figured we'd test it out. We'll see how it goes. I did put a little a poll over in the posts to see if anybody would be interested, and there were a few responses. So I figured we'd do it. We'd try it. Yeah, nice surprise. It won't be a long live. It won't, we won't do like 6 hours like we do on the practically personals. But I thought we just look and have fun. We just have some fun tonight. No pressure. No pressure, no list. Just a little fun. So let's see. What is the collective vibe coming into this happy spring, guys? Before I get too far in, happy spring. What is, I love it. What is the vibe for this weekend in the tribe? Ooh, a Queen of Wands and an Ace of Pentacles coming out immediately. So good ideas lead to fortune, good opportunities. Good ideas lead to good opportunities. Transmutation. Transmutation opens the door. I'm also getting this energy of getting grounded in your healing, getting grounded in your transformation, getting grounded in your growth. I love that. Tell me more. Tell me more. I love this. So we have a Three of Pentacles coming out, and it's like making a plan, a strategic plan. How am I going to move from here to there? This is that grounding into that transformation, into opening up those doors, into grounding that healing, into grounding that new idea, that new adventure, that new you, grounding the new you. What is the plan? How do I get from this timeline to that timeline? Expeditiously, I heard. Aw, blessings. Poor little pup. Sending love to Peanut. So, blessings, have you seen, I think it's called What About Bunny is the channel. And it's one of those puppy owners, dog owners, they're not quite puppies anymore, that uses buttons to communicate with their animals. You should check it out. Just a little thought, a little sidetrack. You should check it out. Anyways, we've got this ground and we have a plan. How do we get from this timeline to the next, Spirit? How do we open up these doors of opportunities? How do we ground this change? How do we ground this transformation? I heard elegantly, eloquently. Three of Cups. Collectively. Look at that collective vibe coming out twice. Thank you, Sphere, for the confirmation that the collective reading is necessary. I appreciate you. So we have, getting together. It's giving like I'm getting like, what do they call that? Like a thought tank, fish tank, like, talking to your friends, running through things, gathering information, asking others, how did you do it? How did you do it? How did you get inspired to make this move? Look, I see where you came from and where you went to. How do I do that? How did you do that? This is like dropping any energy of envy, any energy of doubt, any energy of fear, any insecurity, and just going for it, just asking spirit, asking your friends, how did you do this? Look at the friends who you admire. I'm also seeing well, I'm not seeing it, more or less hearing it. There's this saying about surrounding yourself. Like, who do you surround yourself with? What type of people are you surrounding yourself with? And what it's giving me is like, are your 10 people you aspire to be like? Or are you keeping lower vibrational people around you? Are you surrounding yourself with low vibe environments? So, Spirit is asking you to take a look at who the people are that you're surrounding yourself with, who is inspirational in your crew. And if you have people who are not inspiring you, right? If you have people who are not inspiring you, are you inspiring them, Spirit? Speak it. Are you inspiring them? So there seems to be a split here. Like spirit is showing me half of the people should be inspiring you. We'll say the top 6 or the top 10. If you have 3 friends who are inspiring you to do better, because you want to aspire to be like them, or do you have 3 friends who are, being inspired by you? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, collective. But it's giving me that look at the people you surround yourself with. Are these people that you could truly trust with your ideas? Trust them with your intentions, right? If you told your friends and family today that you had a vision for your future and you wanted to do it, would they be supportive? Would they cheer you on? Would they show up for you? And how would they show up for you? Would they show up with doubt? Would they show up with their own insecurities and self-limiting beliefs? And at what point do you recognize where their energy begins and your energy ends? So at what point do you stop allowing their insecurities and their self-limiting beliefs influence your path, your timeline, the direction you're heading in? Ooh, Spirit. Hi, Jean. We haven't seen you in a minute. How are you, my love? Oh, 10 of Cups, exactly. When we all work together, to overcome, thank you, Spirit, to overcome heartache, to transmute, when we work together to lift each other up, when we work together to encourage each other to show up, not just for ourselves, but I'm talking about showing up for each other. I love you guys so much. The way you showed up for a surprise collective reading, I think it's very beautiful. But this is giving just that kind of movement. What is the next step? What is the next move to get you onto that timeline? What is the plan? What are you doing to ground your transformation? What are you doing to transmute the energy that you've been healing, to drop the heartache, to detach from a past version of self that had those doubts? Yeah. What did I just say? What did I just say? King of Swords, how are we detaching from that previous timeline, from that person we no longer internally resonate with? Those things, I'm getting mostly those fears, those doubts, those self-limiting beliefs. How do we detach from them so that we can move forward? How do we do that, Spirit? How do we do that? So we surround ourselves with inspiring people, yes. 10 of Pentacles. I love the 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles coming out together. That is just a beautiful energy. And again, surrounding ourselves with supportive people, people who share our values, people who value healing. Who is valuing healing in your life? And are you spending time with them? Are you talking to them? Are you comparing notes? Now, I'm not saying you have to do what they did, but if you're not surrounding yourself by people who are inspiring you, who are you surrounding yourself with? Who are you asking to walk with you on your journey? Thank you, Spirit. What seeds are you planting? Seven of Pentacles. Look at her. Look at her, just collecting the bag. Just collecting the bag, making it look easy, right? Seven's a lot about introspection. So again, it's I'm seeing like if each one of these bags was like part of your friendship circle, right? You've got like family, you've got friends, you've got coworkers, you've got internet friends you never met in person. You've got, and I'm thinking of all that. You got people who don't know you at all. You got people who want to know you, right? People you want to know but you haven't aligned with yet. And it's like, where are you planting your seeds and why? How are you doing that? How are you accomplishing it? Are you reaching out and meeting more people? Are you putting yourself on the path? Look at all the pentacles. Look at all the pentacles. Can we just for a second? We started with that Queen of Wand being inspired, and it just took off from there. Ace of Pentacle, right? We had Three of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. What seeds are you planting? What is your harvest going to look like this year? If you plant now, thank you, spring. Thank you, new moon. Thank you, spring. If you're planting now, if you're putting seeds in now, what are you going to reap this fall? What are you calling towards you? I'm drawing like it's so interesting because I don't usually do this when I'm reading, but I'm like drawing a little heart on my chest with my hands as I talk to you guys. And it's giving like opening up that heart chakra, being open to the possibilities, right? And again, knowing where your energy ends and someone else's begins so that you're not taking on their projections, their doubts, their insecurities, right? A lot of people may not be willing to recognize your good ideas or your aspirations because they can't relate to somebody who isn't afraid, who isn't willing to take the steps, who isn't willing to heal, who isn't willing to do the work. They may not relate, right? They may not be able to see the path before you in the same way that you do. Some people see a mountain and they say, I want to know what the view is from there. Some people see a mountain and say, I could never, right? So it's like, what direction are you going in? And what seeds are you willing to plant to get there? Like, what direction? That just keeps coming up. What direction are you going in? There's something here about having that plan. Having that plan, but it's not just about having the plan, it's about surrounding yourself with support, the people who see the vision with you, the people that are willing to cheer you on, to keep you going, right? When the going gets tough, the people that share the same values. I love this so much. The people who cheer you on, the people who share the same values, the people who show up to support you. I feel like it's worth saying twice. So we're detaching. We're detaching. We're being honest with ourselves about the direction we want to go in. And, swords is also a lot about the intellect, not just the language, but the intellectual aspects, the course of action. Which direction am I going in and how do I get there? Okay, let's see. I want to grab another deck. Let's keep this going. It's such a beautiful energy. Happy spring, everybody. I hope you are enjoying it so far. It's cold and rainy, but I think, at least I hope and pray, the snow is behind us. I am looking for Colette Baron Reed. Let me see. I would like one of her oracles, and I can think of the color. There it is, the Wisdom Oracle. Let me grab this deck and pull it out. You guys are going places, and it's like I'm seeing one of those signs like go west or bust. You know, it's like you're either with me or you're not. You're coming or you're staying. I'm not staying still anymore. I'm not sleeping on me anymore. And I'm not aligning myself with people who are sleeping on me, sleeping on choosing me, sleeping on loving me, sleeping on embracing the vision I have for myself. Oh, hydrangeas are so beautiful. It is so cold and rainy here. Oh my gosh. But it's like foggy rainy. I took a video. I should post it later. I took a video of the river. It's only like 20 seconds long. It's so high and so angry right now. It's so different than like in the fall when it's low and it's full of fishermen and it's very calm and you could see all the rocks. Like right now with the snow runoff and the rain, it's incredibly rapid and deep and violent. Maybe that's maybe that's analogous to your journey as well. You know, it starts off sometimes very violent and deep and rapid, right? And then you hit a season where it's smooth sailing, where you're fishing, where you're pulling in what you need, where you're catching exactly what it is that you're hoping to catch. Yeah, serendipitous. It is catching exactly what you hope to catch. Catching that wave, moving yourself into the future. Again, we're talking about taking those opportunities and not being afraid of it. Understanding the spirit is putting those opportunities on your path for a reason. Are you willing to hold on? Are you willing to take sail? Are you willing to fly? Are you willing to take yourself into that new timeline? Are you willing to step up and say yes, but yes to yourself, right? Yes to yourself. No matter what anybody else is doing, TikTok, when is the right time? When is the right time for you to step up and accept the opportunity? Look at, we have the thinker coming out too with the King of Swords. It feels very appropriate. How are you going to do that? Again, that Three of Pentacles, where did it go? It had that beautiful energy of planning. It doesn't have, you don't have to have the entire plan in place, but what is your next step? Which direction are you going in? Where do you see yourself next year at this time? And how do you get there? And there's something here about setting realistic goals, right? But then allowing spirit to create the opportunities for those goals. But you have to open yourself up to it, right? I mean, there's a lot of times spirit drops things in your lap, right? It's a lot of times spirit drops things in your lap, but a lot of times it's about taking those little steps yourself by figuring out what needs to happen to strengthen your foundation. Spirit, tell me more. Tell me more. A change in the wind. Yeah. Where are we going? What direction? Thank you, spring. Right? We've got that warmer weather coming in. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? How are you going to stop sleeping on you? How are you going to step up? What are your aspirations this year? You know, what are you doing for your health? What are you doing for your well-being? Mentally, physically, spiritually. Make a list. I'm getting make a list. I'm seeing those building blocks as being like a chart or a list. What are your goals? Did you tell spirit how much money you want to make this year? right? What about the 369 method? I love those. Yeah, thank you, Spirit. Putting yourself in the right position, poised. Putting yourself in the position to win. Sometimes, right, things do fall in our lap serendipitously. And a lot of times, though, that comes from telling Spirit exactly what it is you need and when and why, right? But then allowing Spirit to take some of that up. So I saw a video today. It's one of those, those do-gooder videos, and I love them, where they go around and they just give random people money. And this particular, I'm going to call him a kid, for lack of a better word. He's a young man. He owns a YouTube channel, has a YouTube channel, and he just goes around and blesses people. And on this particular day, he was knocking on people's door, asking them how much they pay for rent, and paying their next month's rent. And it was like the 30th or the 30, I don't know if it was the 30th or the 31st or something. And he knocked on this gentleman's door, and the gentleman said 1,200, and he just handed him $1,200 in cash. And the gentleman said, I just lost my job, and I was praying today, how am I going to pay my rent tomorrow? But I was asking God today, how am I going to pay my rent tomorrow? And that's that kind of serendipity, right? The willingness to ask God for help, the willingness to be open to it, to open the door to it, right? He could have not answered his door. I'm a not answer my door kind of person myself sometimes. Maybe I should start. Right? Maybe I should look at my rule of not answering the door and reevaluate. But there's definitely this energy here of asking Spirit to help you figure out what direction it is you're going in, asking Spirit to show you the way, right? Or telling Spirit, thank you, telling Spirit what direction you want to go in, and waiting for Spirit to make the way. And I'm not saying waiting is in sleep on yourself, but like being able to watch for the way, saying what direction you want to go in, and then letting Spirit show you the way, letting Spirit show you the doors that are open. But you have to be looking for those doors. You have to be looking for those windows. Are you available to your own dreams? Are you available to your own dreams? Yes. Are you answering the door? Message in a bottle. Do you answer your phone? Do you let it go? What opportunities are you missing when you're not answering the call? When you're not when it's like being in a, what's that? I've heard this before, and I can't remember where it was, but I feel like Lottie has said it as well. It's like being in a storm, being in a flood, and praying for God to save you, but then somebody comes along in a boat and you say, no, thank you. Like, I'm waiting on God. No, that is God. That is God coming. The first thing that guy asked the young man at his door was, are you an angel? And he said, the young guy said no. And I beg to differ, because God uses us in beautiful ways to bless others. Oh, Spirit, is your purpose to get at, okay, when you pick the direction, when you imagine that new timeline, do you imagine yourself being generous? Do you imagine yourself having enough to share? Do you imagine yourself giving to others? Even if it's just your family, right? Let's go back to the 7 of Pentacles, right? And we had all those little bags. It's like, there's enough for self. What do you have to share? Maybe just changing your purpose, shifting your purpose just a little bit, opens up a pathway that you did not see previously, laid out before you beautifully from Spirit. That serendipitous nature, that going with the flow, seeing where the wind takes you. Spirit, I don't want my purpose to be rich. I want my purpose to be generous. I want my purpose to be giving. I want my purpose to be inspiring. I want my purpose to help others. Spirit, how do I help others? How do we work to lift each other up? By exchanging gifts. You're so cute, Spirit. By exchanging gifts. We all have something to give, and we all have something to receive. Thank you, Spirit. That's beautiful. We all have something to give, and we all have something to receive. This is a mess, guys. That's a collective reading. Expect a mess, right? Aw, thank you, Spirit. Here and now with the tribe. You are so beautiful. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for that beautiful message. Yes, surrounded by the tribe. Again, who are you surrounding yourself with? Who are you supporting, and who is supporting you? Is it mutual? Is it mutually giving, mutually beneficial, mutually supportive, mutually inspiring? You guys inspire me every week to get on, to post more, to be more myself, to be open to the universe, to be open to allowing more people into our collective. That type of inspiration is I got the word awful, but as in like full of awe, not like, it's so funny how words pop up in my head sometimes. You know, the spirit of awe that y'all give me, the support and the love and the showing up for all the lives and everything that you guys do, I'm super grateful for. But it's like Spirit is trying to say that, and I say this often on the channel, there's 1 million subscribers for everyone. It's like, what direction do you want to go in? Who are you inspiring and why? Ooh, let's get another oracle out over here. Sorry, I'm banging the phone. Let's get another oracle out. I love Oracle of the Seven. So let's check this out. We have Colette Baron Reed going on again. I just ordered a new Colette. To be fair, I ordered 3 new decks tonight. 3 new Oracle decks. We'll see when they come in. I will have a I'll have an unboxing. Maybe we'll do it for one of the forecasts. So what's going on? So Spirit, let's take it down to the weekend, because we are talking about a long-term goal, right? We're talking about what is the plan to make huge shifts. Where can we start this weekend? What is coming towards the collective this weekend in means of opportunities that the collective should be looking for, opportunities that the collective may not see coming? What types of opportunities? Waking the lion. So this could be even, I know I'm specifically asking about this weekend. Didn't I say the power of purpose? Didn't I say the power of purpose? So this weekend we can shift our purpose. We can wake the lion by shifting our purpose, by evaluating what our purpose is and what direction, what our purpose is and what we want it to be. If you don't feel like you have a purpose, what do your prayers sound like? Are you asking Spirit to show you the purpose? When you meditate, are you setting an intention before your meditation that says, hey, Spirit, could you please tell me what is my purpose? Where am I? Look at all the collective vibes. Hold on. Because I've got birds of a feather. We got the tribe. We had the 3 of Pentacles. We had the 3 of Cups. The purpose is to do things together, to lift up humanity, to all be doing something to raise our vibration and lift humanity together. So if you're not doing something to raise the vibration and lift humanity, that's a good place to start this weekend. Thinking about what can I do to raise the vibration and lift humanity up? What can I do to let go of fear? What can I do? I'm just thinking about once in a while, Lottie will do the cowardly lion in her lives. Like she does a little cowardly lion. Oh gosh, like, roof and a royal growl. Oof. It's giving that coming out of fear. A powerful move. Yeah, shift in purpose is definitely a powerful move. Yeah, and it's giving, look at the global energy. It's the long-term goal. So I went into this thinking about just what do we need to know for this weekend, and Spirit is like, I mean, I'm gonna say it, screw this weekend. What are you doing with the rest of your life? This weekend is the beginning of the rest of your life. Which direction are you going in? Have you asked yourself why you're going in that direction? I just heard where I just heard. Oh, I was just about to. Okay, so I just heard "Wherefore out thou, Romeo," and I got the beautiful uncaging. Again, this is kind of like what I was feeling in that heart chakra a little while ago, and I was drawing a heart right on my chest, and it was like this energy of just like coming out the top and back around to the root, like really raising your vibration so much that your teeth hurt. It happens, guys. I don't know if you've ever had an intense meditation and come out of it and your vibration is so high it feels like your teeth could fall out of your skull. If you haven't, you should try it. It really is. I mean, I just went to the dentist. I have no cavities, so I'm telling you, this is a thing. It can happen. Okay, it happens all the time. When people go through, we'll talk about ascension symptoms, because if you are making big shifts and big changes, right? If you are finding new tribes of a higher vibration, your body has to adjust to that new frequency. And it does come with all sorts of side effects. And sometimes it feels like a cold. Sometimes it feels like allergies. Sometimes it feels like muscle aches or the need for more sleep. Sometimes it feels like your teeth are going to vibrate out of your skull. And I don't know how to explain it any more than that. When I had some of my biggest energetic shifts, yeah, take a deep breath. When you do get in that space, take a deep breath. Pause and take a deep breath. Pause and take a deep breath. Allow yourself to adjust, right? Another reason why hydration is so important, the way spirit moves through you, the way the frequency changes. Energy moves through your body more easily if you're fluid, right? You want to go with the flow, drink more water, be fluid. On that note, let me have a sip of water. Oh, Kiki, where are you going, Lati? I must have just called you in because when I pulled Waking the Lion, I was talking about how you do the cowardly lion so well. And I gave a woof and a woof and a royal growl. All in your honor, my love. This is given the energy, though, of really having that courage to make those shifts, make those changes. Don't be afraid of the ascension symptoms. Don't let them slow you down. Your teeth are not going to fall out, okay? I can say, even if you feel like your vibration raises so quickly that you could, great big love. Thank you, Spirit. This beautiful uncaging and this great big love, it's still giving me that allowing yourself to open up to the serendipity, allowing yourself to open up to new frequencies. In those new frequencies will be new friends. In those new frequencies will be those new opportunities. In those new frequencies are going to be those doorways, those pathways, those windows to the future that you're looking for. When you wish upon a star. What do you really want to do with your energy? I was seeing the star card earlier today and I was reflecting on it. I was actually looking at the Light Seers card. It's all about hope. It's all about dreams. It's all about, that energy of, it's kind of like a new beginning energy, but it's like not from a space of having had opportunities. So, like, the Fool is in the space of like naive new beginnings, right? A willingness, a leap of faith. And it's almost like the Star card is a more mature new beginning. It's a hope for the future. It's that direction of the new timeline. What does that new timeline look like, right? And this isn't about this Wish Upon a Star card isn't about what steps to get there. I know we were talking about that earlier. This Wishing Upon a Star card is just, what does that timeline look like? Where do you envision yourself? Subtract the how do I get there, right? Let's not think about that for a minute. Let's just close our eyes and imagine what that timeline looks like. Whether that's the timeline that we'll reach 5 years from now, the timeline we reach 10 years from now, what does that timeline look like? And are you open to that serendipity, that serendipitous energy that will carry you there? Even if you don't have a plan, do you have a vision? If nothing else for this weekend, collectively speaking, if you do nothing else, if you cannot come up with a plan, what are you carrying with you as a vision for the future, for that new timeline, for yourself? Ooh, I was so excited. I just felt the energy come down and I got really warm. Like I had all that excitement and my heart was just a thumping. And it's like this burning in the lion and the uncaging. I'm like suddenly very warm, like the frequency, that vibration creates a heat. It's like a physical heat off the vibration of that timeline that you want to move towards. It's giving that Queen of Wands we had. It's giving that heat is what we transmute. That heat is the fuel. That heat is the motivation taking root. That heat is kinetic turning into actual, right? Or I mean, potential turning into kinetic. Thank you, Spirit. It's that potential energy becoming movement, becoming action. Ooh, Spirit. What else we got? What else we got for the collective? So open to discovery again with that star energy, earth magic. What did I say? This was about grounding. The first two cards we got out tonight was Ace of Pentacles and that Queen of Wands. And I said this is about transmuting and grounding that future timeline. Not being afraid of those mountains, wanting to see the view from them. Taking the action to elevate, to lift the vibration. Why? Because collectively we need it. Collectively we are ready for it. Collectively we are celebrating growth. We are celebrating discovery. We are celebrating healing. We are celebrating knowing. We are celebrating each other, right? We're celebrating the values. We're celebrating the paths. And we're doing it together. Thank you. Birds of a feather. We're doing it together. We're taking these steps. We're being inspired. We're changing our purpose. We're listening. Call of the Muse. A higher view. We're listening to spirit. when they call us to something greater than ourselves. Somewhere greater than we've been. Something greater than we've known. There's a calling for everybody to lift their vibration. And it's contagious. You know, we were talking about what are the type of people you're surrounding yourself with. Who are the people that you have on your side? Are you surrounding yourself by people who inspire you? Are you surrounding yourself with people who want to see you do better? And it's like the more that you do that, listen, hear me out. Because when you do that and you leave certain people behind, they want to catch up. They then become inspired. They then say, why am I sitting still when I could be growing like they did? Yes, they have to overcome the fear. Yes, they have to overcome the insecurity. Yes, they're going to have to overcome the envy. But that's evolution, my friends. That is evolution. That is what Spirit is calling us to do. Not to sit and wait and stop and beg others to move forward with us, but to move forward independently with the higher view that everybody will get there. Everybody will get there in their own time. Everybody, and I'm getting everybody deserves love and everybody deserves being celebrated. Okay, even in the most difficult times and difficult periods in their life, they still deserve it. But it doesn't mean you have to sleep on you to eat their cake. Amen. Amen, Spirit. Let's get another deck. This is fun. Let's do it. Let's see what I have over here. I might move some of these aside. Let's see what we got going here. Oh, I love it. There's a whole lot of, again, with that exchanging gifts, right? We have a whole lot to offer each other in the line of support, even if it's not, fiscal or physical, we have a lot to offer each other just in cheering each other on, in encouraging each other to do better, to heal, right? To have a plan, even if we can't see the way, it's like Spirit shows us the way, right? We just have to ask, Spirit, help me ground this healing so that I could see the way to this timeline. Help me ground the healing so I could see the path ahead of me, so I can use the wisdom. I'm seeing the Hermit card. So I can use the wisdom to light the path forward, right? To find that purpose, to pull me into that new higher timeline. Sometimes it's sad leaving the people you love behind, right? Sometimes it's sad having to cut ties, having to be that King of Swords, having to put the past behind you so that you can move ahead. But how else do you encourage those people that you are having to leave behind? How else are you going to encourage them to, if sitting there and holding their hand and waiting for them is not necessarily going to inspire them, getting up and taking yourself into that new timeline absolutely will. Ooh, Spirit, this was supposed to be a weekend, a weekend forecast, but we got like a lifetime forecast coming out, which I appreciate. I appreciate it. Again, we're starting small. What is the vision? What is that shift in purpose? What am I doing for the greater good? How am I moving myself into a space to be able to help the people that I love more effectively, more efficiently, more often, right? How do I put myself in that position of being generous? You could be generous with your time. You could be generous with your prayers. It is. It's now. It's now. Like Lati's saying, the shift is happening. It's now. Positive outlook. It's now. The revelation. It's now. Prosperity. It's now. It's now for the taking. Grounding ourselves. Getting ourselves in there. So you taking our capacity to love. Oh, Lati. It's very you. Every day, increasing our capacity to love each other. And sometimes that looks like detaching from controlling the outcome of a situation so that you can move forward. Sometimes the best way that you can love each other is to not engage in the lower vibrational activities that you once did. Sometimes saying no to ourselves and to each other is growing in our capacity to love. What is no longer serving you when you have that new vision, that new timeline, when Spirit has revealed to you, has given you the revelation to move forward in your life? What are you being asked to leave in the past? What are you being asked to detach from? What fears and insecurities is Spirit asking you to stop projecting into the current timeline so that you can make that shift? Self-acceptance. Accepting help and love from others as well. Again, are you opening the door? Are you opening the door like the gentleman getting his rent paid? Are you answering the door to a stranger? Are you allowing angels to come in? I also heard, oh, what are these like? I want to know what that is. If anybody knows what that is, it looks delicious. I just want to say. What are these? They look delicious. I'm open to receiving. What is that? What is that? Oh, but are you available to Spirit? Are you available? And if so, how? In what ways? Oh, I gotta screenshot that because I'm gonna go to like look it up and see what it is. I have no idea. What's it made of, Kiki? Can you tell us? Can you give us a description? I feel like for it to be in several of the cards, it must have some significance. Can you give us a little insight into their significance? What did I say about clearing the path, clearing the energy, letting go of anything that's not serving, getting rid of any of those lower vibrational tendencies? Those ties, it's giving cord cutting from the past. Oh, Kiki, that sounds delicious. I'm glad you knew what they were. I'm gonna have to look those up. In other news, don't forget to get your Girl Scout cookies. I think they're ending the Girl Scout cookie sales soon. So if you have some Girl Scouts in your area, bless them. I have a friend dropping a few boxes off tomorrow. She has 3 girls who are in the Girl Scouts, friends of my daughter's. We grew, I've watched her kids grow up. She's watched my daughter grow up. So I always love to support them during this time of the year. So don't forget to get out there and get your Girl Scout cookies, okay? You don't have to get a lot of them, but I did. I did. They're delicious, and I don't regret it one bit. Thank you, Spirit. If you have an opportunity to be generous with the people that you love, it doesn't even have to be people you know. Yeah, they're so innocent and sweet, aren't they? It is delightful. Thank you, Spirit. Innocence is delightful. I shall eat all those cookies. Thank you. Maybe I will share with neighbors, maybe not. We'll see what happens. I'll wait for you to tell me what I should do. Thank you. Aw, Spirit's like, you already know. Share. Share, Beach. Share your cookies. Share your cookies with them all. Oh, let's get another deck because this is fun. Let's keep it going. Any requests for decks? I have my eye on one right now. See if I can reach it. Oh, got it. Oh, see, before starting something for success. This is exactly what we're talking about. Maybe that is a call for us to make offerings this weekend before we start these new journeys. While we're thinking about this new plan, while we're thinking about moving forward, while we're thinking about this new timeline, Spirit, I'd like to reach this new timeline. What do I have to offer you? And Spirit is saying detachment. Offer detachment. Offer the detachment from those. I'm here. Offer the detachment from those lower vibrational tendencies, but then give thanks, right? With a sweet, with. I have a shelf for my ancestors, and I also used to like to do when I was younger. I like to do fairy houses. And you would leave little trinkets and stuff in the fairy houses, like bread dipped in honey and milk, you know, and you put it like right in I would put it in a thimble in the fairy house, right? There's something here about leaving an offering in gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for the success that's already mine. Thank you for the things coming in my direction. So perhaps this weekend with the new moon energy and with a spring coming in, you might want to think about doing an offering, giving something to Spirit. A preemptive gratitude, preemptive thanks. I got out the Gaia Oracle. Sorry, I've been getting so many out so fast. I'm not letting you guys know what they are, but I had the last one was, I love this deck, Whispers of Lord Ganesha. We're busting out some of my favorites. What else should we know for this weekend? Going into this weekend, Sacred Earth, a message of love. Oh, Sacred Earth Mother, a message of love. So, and this is still coming through with that, you know, this is a collective energy, an increase in capacity for love, right? We had that capacity for love. Increasing our capacity. How? With a positive outlook, by transmuting, by allowing Spirit to reveal to us what direction we're meant to be moving in. Our purpose is to raise our vibration. If nothing else, can you set the purpose to raise your vibration this weekend? Can you take a minute to breathe? To observe. I'm hearing to observe. Sacred Heart, passion, love, spiritual communion. Thank you, Spirit. Sacred Mother, Sacred Heart. I'm kind of being called to another deck just off those two cards. We were talking about letting go of attachments, right? What are you offering? Letting go, restrictions, fear, cutting ties from those things so that we can move forward. Spirit's showing me it's not so much moving forward, but moving up. Thank you, Spirit. The ascension is upward. It's frequency. My ear just started ringing. Where is your frequency? Where is it headed? It doesn't have, listen guys, your frequency does not have to always be high and perfect. It's about being able to recognize where it is so that you can Thank you. Emotionally cleanse and rejuvenate so that you can learn how to detach and raise it again. So you can raise it at will. It doesn't come easily, and it's not something that happens all the time. What was that? Look at every time I get this card, it triggers me to get out the other deck that we already used. So I think that's really cute that it came out. The process of transmutation starts with self-awareness. Thank you, Spirit. Can you breathe? Can you look at what you're holding on to that is feeding the doubt, feeding the fear, feeding the insecurities? Again, can you see where somebody else's energy begins and yours ends, so that you're not carrying other people's fears and insecurities forward? I keep saying forward, and Spirit keeps correcting me. Up, up, up. We're moving up. It's ascension. It's ascension. We're evolving. I'm seeing like the Hopi ladder. If you've ever been in the out west, in the Midwest, in the Hopi regions, you'll see a lot of ladders that lead to heaven. It's about two paths. It's about ascension. It's about taking a higher path. It's about letting go of fears so that you're not stuck to earthly matter. So you're not stuck to those lower, I don't want to say like lower earth vibes, but we're talking about superficial things, like how to detach from superficiality, how to allow yourself to ascend, to be light as a balloon is what I'm hearing. Let's grab another deck, because why not? I have my eye on two different decks. First of all, we used this the other day. It's such a beautiful deck if you didn't see it. And then you might have seen it if you're hanging out with Lottie. She had to order it and hers just came in too. It's such a beautiful deck. So let's grab this one. I'm being drawn to the colors of it. This was not, hold on a second, because I want to go back. Because when I saw Sacred Earth and Sacred Mother, I thought of my Mary Magdalene deck. I just have to put eyes on it. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. It's usually up there on the top. So where is it, Spirit? There it is. Ask and ye shall receive. Ask and ye shall receive. Ask with a grateful heart, I just heard. Ask with a grateful heart. We'll read from this one, I think, because this one has a lot of information and it could be quite heavy. So let's see what comes out. Judgment. The whole point is to be human. Again, I said you can release people with love, right? You can if somebody wants to stay in a lower vibrational place, if they're not ready to ascend, if they're not ready to grow, if they're not ready to come with you, if they're not ready to follow, if they're not ready to be inspired, you can still send them love. You can still love them. Those healthy boundaries of loving them from afar, giving them the space to be human. What card fell on the floor? The good. I am inherently good. Thank you, Spirit. This is also giving the Three of Cups vibe again. What are you doing to inspire those around you? What are you doing to inspire perfect... I was gonna say perfectly good strangers. What are you doing to lift up humanity? By lifting up yourself, though, is what it's giving. What are you doing to release those lower vibrations so that you can ascend, so that you can be a good influence on those you love? So you can be a good influence on perfect strangers, people you've never met before. It's almost like Spirit's asking you to imagine meeting yourself for the first time. Like, imagine yourself as a stranger and meeting yourself for a first time. What is the impression you're giving them? What are they taking away? And I'm not saying to be a people pleaser either. Healthy boundaries are a good thing. Thank you, Spirit. I am talking, the ego dies and the soul rises. I'm talking about ascension, resurrecting your life. What are you doing in this moment, in this time, in this space, on the current timeline to resurrect your life? To drop the superficial ideas, the fears, the insecurities, the self-limiting beliefs. What are you doing to transmute those? Be creative. We exist in and with each other. The cave of eggs. Remember, I know who I am. Remember why you came here. Thank you, Spirit, Alpha and Omega. Shout out Lati, the Alpha and the Omega. Every ending is a new beginning. We talked about that. It's spring. What seeds are you planting? What new beginnings are you ready to take up? I'm not going to read on these, actually. I thought I was going to need the book, but none of the powers came out. None of the powers to be. I always wonder what the powers are, but these are pretty self-explanatory here. This is about ascension, ascending your soul, letting go. Again, I said that with the Hopi ladders. It's about disconnecting from the lower vibrations of the superficial, the earthly matters, the things that don't really feed the soul, right? Temptations. We talked about that in a live the other night. How do we let go of temptations? I think it was the second half. If anybody missed the second half, because it wasn't the second half, but there was a part 2 because we had technical difficulties. There was some really beautiful personal readings in there. And beautiful messages for the collective mixed in there. So if you didn't get to see that, you might want to go back and watch it. Yes, they were practically personals. Your reading may not have been in there, but there were some beautiful gems, some beautiful information, some beautiful messages dropped that night. Okay, let's look at the Earthcraft. Go back and check it out. Also, guys, leave comments. Leave comments. Help the channel continue to grow and get out there. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate you. Thank you again for all the likes. Thank you guys for all showing up tonight for the surprise live. I appreciate you. This is giving that, increasing that capacity, right? The true warrior spirit. I'm getting that the true warrior spirit doesn't close themselves off to others. It's just the opposite. They open themselves up. Who can I help? And I'm not talking about people pleasing, and I'm not talking about a mission of changing others. I'm talking about a mission of, changing your own frequency in such a way, remembering who you are in such a way that you have this new timeline, this new shift, this new vibration that you can carry forward with you. This, I'm getting a new knowing. Rise. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. What? Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Rise. Ascend. Look at this phoenix. Rise. Ascend. Open your wings. Light the fire. What is the fire in you calling you to do? Where are you being called? What is cracking you open? If it's cracking you open, it's cracking you open for a reason. Can you sit with it? Can you feel that fire? Can you burn the burn? Can Can you take it with you? Can you bottle it? I'm seeing again the lantern that the hermit carries. The wisdom, the experiential wisdom that you carry with you, right? You're taking that experiential wisdom with you. We're not asking you to forget the past. We're asking you to detach from allowing it I was going to say to keep you stuck, but that's not really, I mean, I guess it is. It kind of is the energy. It's just that the wordings, again, the wordings got stuck too, but that's exactly it. Are you finding your voice? When you remember who you are, you find your voice. You know that this ending is a new beginning. You know that detaching from those lower vibrational frequencies that keep you feeling stagnant. That's a much better way to speak it. Thank you. Those energies that keep you feeling stagnant, feeling stale, the air feeling stale around you. I'm seeing spirit opening a window. Ooh, that fire. Getting that fire. Getting that heat. That is transmutation. Are you doing it right if you don't get a fever? Again, with those ascension symptoms coming up. You end up with ascension symptoms. You can get a fever, right? And you hear that sometimes. There's that saying like working in a fever, right? I worked feverishly all night. That's that fire. That's that transmutation. It's reminding me of a dream that I had, a vision, if you will. But it happened in the dream state where I could hear. Okay, so this is a really hard dream to explain, but I'm going to try to explain it as best as I can. Saint Michael was outside of me, but Archangel Gabriel was inside of me. I could hear Gabriel from inside me. And Gabriel was holding space in my vessel so that Saint Michael could burn away any attachments. So Saint Michael could do the cord cuttings. You guys know I love that Saint Michael cord cutting. There's a reason why I love that Saint Michael cord cutting. I have personal experience with the angels in this capacity. In that dream, I could look down and I could see my heart of flame. Like it looked like a log in a fire. And every time I took a breath in, I could see the embers burn and I could see the ash of what was old, what the old frequency was falling away from my heart. And now the reason why I had Gabriel inside me, I think, is so that my body could physically handle the transformation. There was something about Gabriel taking up the physical space, like holding space for me in my physical body, almost like I wasn't in my physical body. I wasn't in my physical body alone. That's what how I should say it. I wasn't in my physical body alone. And St. Michael, I could see St. Michael. So I know that he wasn't the one within me, but I could hear Gabriel. And Gabriel was just telling me, shh, it's okay. Gabriel was just holding me, creating the containment. That's the kind of energy that I see when I talk about this detachment, when I talk about this this opening up of the heart chakra, this uncaging, this expansion. burning away layers that you do not have to carry. Wow, that's so cool. Lati, that's exactly it. But it happened in a dream with me. It wasn't like it wasn't an intentional meditation, but I remember waking up feeling renewed, feeling cleansed. Like the burning cleansed the soul, right? It's giving purgatory. It's like if I had a way to describe what purgatory was, it wasn't painful. It was just the purification of my soul. She's a dream. Look at what just came out. Prophetic dream. Shut up. I'm sitting here holding it in my lap. I didn't even look. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation. That's beautiful. Dream Weaver. I heard the song and then I saw that other card and I was like, no shit, look at that confirmation. That dream with St. Michael was something else, you guys. If you don't have a relationship with the angels, think about it. Think of building a bond with the angels, because I tell you, there is nothing more magical than when you call on St. Michael and he instantly shows up for you. I tell you guys the story all the time of when I had to walk downtown in a snowstorm and I was scared and I had to overcome that fear. I had to do it. Like there was no choice. I had to do it. And I said to St. Michael before I left the house, please accompany me. I want to feel safe. I want to feel safe. Please accompany me. Please keep me safe. I don't ask St. Michael as much as I say thank you for keeping me safe. I just want to clarify. I mean, sometimes I say please, but I almost always correct myself and say thank you. And sometimes in the same breath, please and thank you, thank you for carrying me. And I tell you guys, I know I've told this story a million times, but I'll tell it a million times more because it's so beautiful when St. Michael shows up for you. Now, when I hear a siren, that to me symbolizes the protection of St. Michael, right? And I had asked him before I left the house, and I had thanked him for coming with me on my walk. And the moment that I stepped out, a siren went off right next to my building, like an ambulance or police car or something was going by. And the siren started. And I kept walking. Of course, the siren began to fade. And as I got about 1/3 of the way on my walk, just as that siren faded to where I couldn't hear it anymore, another vehicle with a siren, this time an ambulance, came around the corner and turned on his lights and siren. So then for the next third of the walk, I could hear that siren going. And as it faded, was about the time that I was walking under the bridge that goes to the shop where I was headed. And I heard a third siren on the bridge. So there wasn't a single moment of that walk that St. Michael wasn't with me. Not a single moment. When I got to the crystal shop where I had booked a reading that day, and I sat down at my table and my client showed up to get the reading, the first card out of the deck was a St. Michael card. And it was confirmation for me that he was there with me the entire time. That's the way St. Michael shows up for me. Very deliberate. Like the archangels are very deliberate about showing up. They are very deliberate. Nothing else seems to want to come out of this deck. And I don't know if I should grab an angel deck now that we're talking about them. Spirit, what shall we grab? I have so many of them. Such a great connection with St. Michael. I would highly suggest figuring out who your patron angel is. I actually have a book. I don't know if you guys know this. This was written by one of my ancestors who was an alchemist, the Goetia of Dr. Rudd. And it has some old Hebrew stuff in it about angels and demons. but it breaks down in one part. I don't know if I can find it easily. I think that I dog-eared it, actually. Let me see if I could find the dog ear. I try not to dog ear my books, but this felt important. But this particular book has a list of guardian angels based on your zodiac by element. So there's 4 angels listed depending on your element of your sign. It assigns a guardian angel. You could start there. It turns out that my guardian angel is Gabriel, but I am very connected to Michael as well. So you may also feel connected to many angels and many guides, or different angels for different reasons. I always say I have the gift of gab. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't. To me, the gift of gab, it took me forever to realize the gift of gab just meant like Gabriel, right? Gabriel's gift, a messenger. So if anybody ever uses that as sort of a way to instill insecurities in you, just say thank you. Oh, you really have the gift of gab, don't you? Yes, thank you. I do align with Gabriel. I am a messenger. I do have things to say, whether you think they're important or not. Oh, thank you, Spirit. I know that I dog tagged it, but I don't know if I can find it now. I thought I folded it over so that I wouldn't lose it, and now I can't find it. This is really cool, though, because look at these lists. I know, Lati, you have the Goetia deck as well. I thought this book is a very good companion for that. Let me show you. It's got the different sigils for different angels, and this talks a lot about how to use the angels to protect yourself from very specific demons. So it has these tables. A lot of these tables have different information about angels, different information about demons. Like, can you name your demons? There's a list in here somewhere that specifically says what demons are responsible for what witchcraft, what types of things in your life that are going on. It specifically names the demons. I thought that was fascinating because I really had no idea. Where is, I wish I could find it more easily for you guys because it's such a beautiful thing. Here's a whole bit about Uriel. Here's Uriel's seal. I'll have to look it up and make a post for you guys. I've read it a million times in here, so I don't know why I can't find that specific page. This book is called The Goetia of Dr. Rudd. He was, I was going to say 15th century. Hold on, because I feel like I have the little book cover and I can give you more specific information on him. So the Goetia is the famous grimoire after the Key of Solomon. Okay, there's several volumes. This is volume 3. It's called Sourcework of Ceremonial Magic. Hello. Sorry, it's blurry. Okay, and it says, this was owned by Dr. Thomas Rudd, a practicing scholar magician of the early 17th century. Okay, sometimes I forget if it's 17th or 18th. There are many editions of the Goetia, of which the definitive is that edited by Joseph Peterson. But here, in this particular Goetia, it was used by practicing magicians in the 16th and 17th century before the knowledge of practical magic faded into obscurity. This is about this volume explains how the 72 angels of the Shemhamphorash are used to bind the spirits and the correct procedure for safely invoking them using special dual seals, incorporating the necessary angel whose name is also engraved. It says on the breastplate and brass vessel. So whatever that breastplate is like the seal of Solomon info. Yeah, I think this is the seal of Solomon in the beginning of the book that you see. It's very beautiful. This book is really amazing. If you're into alchemy, I would say it's definitely something you need. I did a little bit more research on Dr. Rudd, and he was not just a magician, but an engineer, a mathematician, a philosopher, very intelligent being, very well educated for his time. Okay. It's quite a fascinating book. It was not easy to get my hands on, so good luck, guys, if you find it. It was a bit of a challenge. And I'm blessed that I found a hardcover. I don't even know if there are paperbacks of this, but I found the dog ear. Thank you. After all of that, I found the dog ear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius are of the first region governed by Michael. And I do have double Leo, so it makes sense that I would have a connection with Michael. Okay, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorns, you guys would start with Uriel, or having a connection with Uriel may benefit you. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius are connected to Raphael. And then Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Thank you. So I'm a Scorpio, primarily a Scorpio, but I also have triple Libra and double Leo. So I have I connect to a lot of, I think the only this is funny because if you think about how lessons work in karma, the only sign that I have zero placements, or the only element that I have zero placements for, is Earth. And I feel like that's because I was meant to learn how to do it without the help. If that makes sense. It was meant to be the least of my connections for a reason, whether it was because I'm meant to be more connected to spirit, meant to be more connected to my emotions and my spirituality, or it's just meant for me to overcome not having the influence of those signs and still coming into growth and success and evolution. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but it always does to me when I think about it. But Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces is governed by Gabriel. Again, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius governed by Raphael. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn by Uriel, and Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius by Michael. So just some real interesting information for you guys to take with you to look into if you're interested. This is such a cool book. Such a cool book. Like, I actually, it was a bit of a miracle that I found it. Rudd is my paternal name, like my paternal family lineage. And I had taken a trip to Texas, and somebody had brought not this Goetia, but they brought this deck. And Lottie knows what I'm talking about. You guys rarely see this deck. It's very heavy. It has a lot of info in it. But the person had brought this deck. They had heard that a tarot reader was going to be at the wedding in Texas, and they brought their Goetia deck. And when I came home to look for the deck because I wanted to read more, the book by Dr. Thomas Rudd popped up when I did the search. So it was, again, we talked earlier about serendipity. Are you open to those serendipitous moments that Spirit is giving you an opportunity to have a deeper understanding of yourself? And this was one of those things where when I got it, when I purchased it, when I brought it into my home, I more fully understood how I got where I got and from where it was that I came from, like more deeply and more thoroughly than I ever could have imagined. You're welcome, Emmy. Like, and that was it, was being open to it, right? Being open to Spirit leading me, opening that door, making it a point. I couldn't buy it right away. I had to save up for it. Like, you know, it could be quite limited in the copies. You guys could probably find them now. I don't know. It was quite challenging because I do believe it's out of print. So I had to buy it used on Thrifty Books. Highly suggest if you're into cards or literature, if you're looking for books, whenever you're looking for anything that I mention or stuff that Lati mentions or any of the cards, I highly suggest Thrifty Books. But that is, I bought it at the same time that I bought this Goetia deck. And it's a tarot, it says Tarot of Darkness, okay? But I'll tell you what drew me to the deck was the book. And I'm going to show you because I think the book is almost more valuable than the cards themselves. Lati, I don't know if you dug into reading the book in that deck yet, but it's fabulous. Let me get some of these cards out of the way and I'll show you guys what I was really drawn to in that deck. Why I sought it out, why I looked it up. This was back when I was really kind of first starting to, I won't say I was first starting to dig into my shadow work, but it was like when I first started to realize that shadow work was a form of transmutation or necessary for transmuting. Like I knew that the purpose was for healing, but I didn't understand the greater connection. I didn't understand the greater value of it. I knew it was something that I should do. I didn't even probably, I mean, I think I knew that shadow work was shadow work, but I didn't really have a grasp of what that meant. Okay. The volume number that I have, the Goetia of Dr. Rudd, I have volume, it says volume number 3. I want to get the other volumes too, because I haven't found all of them yet. I paid a lot more. I feel like I paid a lot more than it was listed for in the book itself. But I was okay with it. It was worth it. But in this particular deck, in this book, there is a whole lot. First of all, this also has a list. Okay, similar to the one in the Goetia book that I'm talking about, that breaks down a lot of what the demons are associated with. How to name your demon. If you ever hear people say, you know, name your demons, they're not just talking about naming the things that you're struggling with, but also what demons rule over those things. Like, do you know their names? Can you name them? But this particular Goetia has a lot from Carl Jung. And it talks, this is where I started to really grasp the connection between shadows and demons. Lottie, you're so cute. You're gonna love it. There's a lot of information in there, but you could see in here it talks a lot about what Carl Jung said about shadow work and how to deal with subconscious healing, like how to look at these things, why it's necessary right here, why we find it necessary. The value of facing your problems, the value of reprogramming yourself. But this book right here, like everything read, it breaks down and connects the book in the deck. Look, there's stuff in here about the Kabbalah and the Tree of Life. But it really breaks down a lot of the subconscious stuff, the psychological stuff when it comes to demons and shadow work. So I got sucked into the book. Before I got sucked into the deck, I got sucked into the book. And I did a bunch of reading on it, right? The use of symbols and stuff too. Yes, thank you, Spirit. It's definitely worth, if you're into decks. It's a little intimidating, the art and the fact that it's called a Tarot of Darkness, or Tarot in Darkness. The artwork could be, I wouldn't call it disturbing, but it's heavy. It's a heavy deck. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's a heavy deck. It's just like it doesn't even want to show. Hold on. It's like both sides were, oh, those are that's an extra card. But there's some really, really heavy imagery and heavy symbolism with it. Okay. It's beautiful. It's super beautiful, by the way. It's just a lot to read. It's a lot to take in. I know Lati has used this deck a few times. It's not that I'm afraid of the deck. It's just that it has so much information in it that I don't feel like I adequately connect with the symbolism to read it. It's like one of those decks that I have to get to know more deeply before I feel proficient with it. Some decks you can open up and it speaks to you immediately, and other decks you have to sit with and get to know. And that's one of the decks I feel like I always have to sit with and get to know. But if it wasn't for that deck, I never would have found the book. That was the point. If it wasn't for the deck, I never would have found that book. You were just thinking about how much you use it, Lati. It's so beautiful. That part, Lati, that's what it is. And that book, The Goetia of Dr. Rudd, shows you exactly what angels are associated with exactly what demon. So if you can name the demon, you can name the angel associated with that duality, the balance, the evening it out, the level playing field. It's very, to me, I'm super spiritual, I love the angels. I love all of the theology around it. I'm not just a one theology type person. I'm not closed-minded at all. I'm very open to learning and exploring and knowing more about all sorts of different beliefs and understandings. That's scary for some people. That's why we get haters, right? That's why we get haters in the chat, because they're scared. The things that we know, the things that we do could be scary, can be intimidating to them. But when you read The Goetia of Dr. Rudd, you see that even listed in there as magic. So some of the things that are listed in the Torah in the Old Testament as magic is mathematics is considered witchcraft. Sciences are considered witchcraft. Like there's a lot of, it's like, where do you draw the line, people? Like, why do you draw the line at tarot? Praying and asking God for help is, that's a form of witchcraft, believe it or not. Yeah. Why would you draw the line here and not there? I don't know. It's interesting to think about. It's interesting to think about. I'm looking for the Pulp Tarot box. Let me put that away. And we can explore more. Let's see if we get these cards going again. I got out the chakra. Let's look at some more spirit. Probably get out of here around the 2-hour mark, I think. So we got a little bit more time. I've got spare to hang with you guys. Hi, no list tonight. We are just talking about collective growth, collective expansion, wisdom, knowledge, the sharing of it, right? We just talked about some books. We just talked about some decks with valuable information embedded in them. This is collective vibes tonight. And Spirit was talking about, if you want to go back to the beginning, Southern Girl, Spirit was talking about raising our frequency by detaching from those people, places, and things that aren't serving us, from transmuting any unhealed energies so that we can step into who we're meant to be as destiny comes out. So we could step in, and I was just discussing the duality, right? We were just talking about the shadow work. Why is the shadow work important? Because, it shows you the direction of the light. You think about shining a light onto something and the way it casts its shadow, the direction that it casts its shadow, right? Shows you which direction the light is in. So where is your shadow being cast so that you can find your north node? You just got a shadow work journal today, or just a regular journal, Lucretia? I know Matt said he got a shadow work journal. I forgot to ask him what journal it was that he picked up. Like if it was specifically a shadow work journal or not. I would love to know. If so, where did you get your journal? Would you recommend it? Does it look like something that is helpful for you? Share, share, share. I love to share with you guys. I love to hear what you guys have to share, like a shadow workbook. As we're talking about it, Workaholic comes out. But this is the best kind of workaholic, right? I always call the decks my art collection. And whenever I see this particular card, oh, I just realized that this is a grape and this is a raisin. I never realized what they were before. That's so cute. Oh, so this is almost giving, in a sense, it's giving, I'm seeing like the Hierophant. It's like having the experiential wisdom and passing it on through tradition, right? Through common vision. That's so cute. We have that kind of here too. We have that Hierophant energy and the sharing of wisdom, passing tradition down. It is giving elder energy. Both of those decks is giving, or both of those cards are giving beautiful elder energy. And again, I was just talking about finding a book from my ancestor, learning why philosophy, theology appeal so much to my soul, because it's ingrained in me. It's genetically encoded in me to ask questions, to expand, to explore. Oh, but not a prompted one. Awesome. Are you going to write your own prompts? I saw something flip. I'm trying to find it. What was it? Coming up on it. Forgiveness. Okay. Okay. Some of you may be struggling with forgiveness. It was in reverse. Okay, you may be thinking that forgiveness is too big of a task to take up, but it's like, remember that people have gone before you and have successfully forgave. Okay, there's something about the path to detachment being found via forgiveness coming through, and that it's not impossible. And I'm always saying to you guys, I'm always reminding you guys that when they asked Jesus, how many times do I have to forgive my brother? And Jesus responds 777 times. He doesn't mean that you have to allow somebody to take advantage of you 777 times. He just means that forgiveness is active. He just means that the feelings are going to come up again, and you have to be intentional about releasing them. You have to be intentional about allowing them to be felt and then to release them so that you're not carrying them with you. Forgiveness is active. He doesn't mean you have to keep letting people hurt you. He doesn't mean don't have healthy boundaries. He means it's active. That one offense, one offender, you can carry that with you for a really long time if you don't forgive it and release it. And healing's not linear. That's also coming up. That healing is not linear. When you are detaching and you are releasing and you are moving forward, there's often times in your journey that you feel like, man, I thought I healed this. Why is this still triggering me? Why is this pattern here? I thought I dealt with this pattern. You may have, right? You may have. But it's like sometimes it resurfaces, it re-triggers. You come back around to that pattern again. And sometimes the test is, what did you learn? What did you learn about forgiveness and how to release it? And I feel every time that it comes back around, it is easier than the last. And it becomes second nature. It doesn't feel like work anymore once you learn how to recognize what forgiveness should look like in your life. Ooh, Spirit. Oh, I love that. So like, yeah, Matthew, absolutely. So like flipping cards and then taking notes about them and how they I was going to say translate to you. Isn't this funny? Impartiality. What do these buckets say? They just say paint on them, I think. Okay, I'm looking at this, and this reminds me of something. I think the reason why Spirit is showing me this is it reminds me of something that I wrote. I used to, okay, after college, when I didn't have to write essays for other people anymore, I started writing essays for myself. I would email myself whenever I would have a certain thought experiment. It was before I had a channel and could just share with you guys what I was thinking about or what I was processing or what I was working on. I would email myself, and I had emailed myself after I started to grasp forgiveness being active and what it means, right? I had written to myself about having a yoke, like friendships and connections being like having a yoke. And when somebody betrays you and breaks one of the jugs, right, and it no longer carries water, and you're off balance. You feel off balance, and it's like it doesn't matter how much of that it doesn't matter how much of that you pick up, like how much water you scoop up. If your vessel is no longer able to carry water, you have to be able to attach from that or detach from that vessel. You have to be able to put it down and move forward regardless with the water that you still carry. And for me, water is often like the soul. I call it soul juice, okay? Where first of all, you can't have a high vibration if you are chronically dehydrated. It's physically impossible. Frequency moves much quicker through your body when you're fluid, right? So make sure you're drinking your water. But not just that. I think of the soul. I think of it as soul juice and spirit. You think of a well. This is another good thing. This thought came from the original thought about carrying yokes and having somebody smash one of your water vessels, right? Another idea that came to me about water and forgiveness and healthy boundaries is if you had a well, and sometimes it's okay for somebody to sit down at your well and have a glass of water, and maybe you never see them again, but maybe somebody comes to your well often and drinks bucket loads. But if that either one of them, if anybody comes towards your well and is kicking rocks in, right? Let's say somebody starts kicking rocks in your well, eventually your well dries up, right? So the importance of healthy boundaries is to protect your well. If you scoop those rocks up and you build up around your well to protect it, nobody can come in and poison your soul, poison your water. To me, it's not just the forgiveness that's important, the ability to detach from a broken vessel, but also your ability to protect your well. You can forgive them and you can let them go, but you do not have to give people access to poisoning your well. To me, they go hand in hand. You really cannot have one without the other. It will break your spirit if you allow people to kick rocks in your well and to poison your water. Thank you, Spirit. There was a reason why I was called to that deck. I appreciate that. Any other messages? That's a new discovery. Thank you. Oh, I hope you guys are discovering your angel. Again, with this heart chakra energy coming through and this connection to your angels and your guides. I hope that tonight inspires you to get closer to your guardian angel, to get to know them, to really learn how to speak their name. It's very funny because when I got the Goetia of Dr. Rudd, I made a promise to Spirit that I would learn all 72 of the angels' names. I'm not doing very well. Thank you, Spirit. I got Quest. I'm not doing very well on it, but to help me out led to another purchase. Again, you got to be open to Spirit. This Angel Tarot deck, which actually has the 72 angels and their seals on them, and what they're associated with. So this deck was actually directly related to me getting the Goetias. So I had made a promise to Spirit that I would learn the 72 names. And while I haven't learned them, I have given myself access to them in fun and meaningful ways. So this is part of my quest. Let's get to know a few of them now. Yeah, this is a beautiful deck. Lati, I think that I learned about this deck watching you. Like, I think that I discovered this deck through your channel. I can't be positive because I know a few readers use it, but I'm pretty sure you're one of the first readers I saw use it. And I was like, yes, that is what I need to help me. See, I don't... Temperance card. So usually I associate temperance with Michael. Oh, look who came out on the bottom. Weren't we just talking about Uriel? What does he say? Disruption, warns of disasters, aids in transformation. We're coming right back around. Aids in transformation. I just said at the very beginning of the reading when we got the Queen of Wands that this is about transmuting, transformation, burning off anything that is not serving us, allowing it to go. And then we have Temperance, the god of joy. I can't say this because I know that the CH is the H sound, and I know I'm going to butcher it if I try. So Hakya. I lived with a Jewish family, so I had a great amount of I lived and worked with them, rabbi, actually, specifically. I lived and worked for lived with and worked for a rabbi and his family. And so I picked up on a little bit of Hebrew, but I cannot speak Hebrew like fluently. I wish I could. I'm not good at languages. But so we have temperance coming out. We have a tower coming out. We have temperance. What do I always tell you guys? What do I always tell you guys? If you're asking for patience, Spirit's going to send you a tower. If you are asking for patience, Spirit is going to send you opportunities to practice it. Ask for peace. Okay, guys, ask for peace. If you're asking Spirit to help you identify and release insecurities, don't be surprised if you find yourself recognizing when you're projecting and what you're projecting. Spirit will show you, will hold it up in the mirror to you so that you can see it, so that self-awareness is developed so that it can be released. Thank you, Spirit. This is a great card to follow on that. Metatron, Wheel of Fortune, the recording angel. It says advancement and progress teaches, guides, and records events in the book of life. Spirit will teach you. If you ask for patience, Spirit will teach you with a tower. Spirit will take you through the tower. If you ask, oh, thank you, Spirit. What did I just say about insecurities? So the Eight of Swords came out. And it says truth and justice, protection from enemies, and who would steal one's fortune. Eight of Swords. So typically in your traditional deck, the Eight of Swords speaks a lot about insecurities. Looking in the mirror, seeing what you're projecting. What are you projecting? Look at this little angel. What are you projecting? The self-awareness to see what's being projected. Your tower could be seeing what you're projecting. It's giving like personal tower. Not necessarily anybody else has to be directly involved. Amen, Spirit. Exactly, Lati. They give us opportunities to develop. Exactly. Yeah, Uriel is the angel with the flaming sword, and I think he might also often, yeah, it looks like electricity. It's lightning. I've done a Uriel drawing for a client in Denmark. I sent it to him, and I don't know if I told him it was in the envelope, so I hope that he actually got it because I sent it with another piece, and I never thought to tell him that it was in there because I kind of wanted him to be surprised, but I have a photo of the drawing regardless. But there is this energy of, it was the energy of, so that was an interesting story too. I had written down, I don't know if I have it here, let me see. I had woken up in the middle of the night. I got my alchemy notebook here, my alchemy journal. Oh, it's so beautiful. It has a little key that locks it. Get the feather out of the way. And I keep all these cards and things in it, and I often take notes on the cards. And I had woken up in the middle of the night, and I had taken all these notes on alchemy, and Spirit had shown me, I don't think it's in here because it was a bigger piece of paper. I would have had to have folded it in half. And Spirit had shown me how light workers are like lightning rods for Spirit. No, I don't see it in here. But Spirit had shown me that we are like lightning rods for Spirit. And It was a dream. And I had seen like light workers standing and lightning hitting them and them transmuting the energy, like receiving the energy and then grounding the energy, and the flowers were growing out of the soil. It was like stimulating growth in the surrounding physical matter, right? And it was showing me how light workers transmute spiritual energy coming in, how new energy comes to earth in powerful ways, and how the light workers are able to receive it and transmute it so that others can access it for growth. And I had woken up and I had drawn like a diagram of it. And that's what I was trying to look for, but I couldn't find it in here. I'm not sure where it is. I'm sure I wouldn't have thrown it out though. So I had drawn the diagram with a bolt of lightning, the lightning rod, all the flowers, and I had like made a whole diagram of it, like what I had seen in this dream. And I didn't know why, but I sent the image. I took a picture of the diagram and I sent it to my lightworker friend in Denmark. So no, let me back up. I do know why I sent it to him. The next morning when I woke up, right? Because I woke up, I drew it, I went to bed. I got back up again in the morning. And when I got up in the morning, my friend in Denmark messaged me and he said, "Can you make me an angel of lightning?" And I said, "You already are." I was like, that was my little inside joke because I already knew like he's a light worker, right? I said, "You already are." But what he meant was, could I like physically make him a piece of jewelry that was a angel? And with a sword of lightning. And he told me that the night before, lightning had struck his camp in Denmark. And so it was like we had been connected, like my dream was connected to his physical experience at the time. It was a very uncanny synchronicity because the time of year and the place where he is doesn't receive a lot of lightning, like if ever. So it was very significant for him. And so when he had said that to me, I sent him the picture that I drew the night before. It's just pay attention to your connections and the synchronicities with others. Know your light workers is another thing that's coming through. And if you are a light worker, understand uh, your responsibility is to transmute incoming spiritual energy, to be open to receiving it so that you can ground it in this earthly realm for others to access and grow from. If you are a light worker, your job is to receive spirit so that you can ground it for others to grow from. Ooh, spirit. That was a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. Let's see what comes out here again. Ooh, oh my God, Lati, the dream we connected on. I was telling you guys earlier how I had that dream of Saint Michael and Gabriel. And the next day, when I opened up Lati's morning message, she was literally describing my dream in a reading, and we hadn't even spoken yet. I messaged her while I was listening to it. I actually started messaging her before I got to the part of the reading where she was talking about these two angels, seeing two angels. I don't even remember what deck you were using, but you saw two angels, and I was like halfway through texting Miss Lati about the two angels in my dream. I can't remember if you named the angels in that reading. I wish I could go back. I bet if I looked in our chat, I could figure out what day you released that reading. So I could go back and revisit it. I don't think I ever saved it. I should have. Ooh, we got the lovers, right? This is about choices. The choice of your frequency, because we have the Empress. And we have that Eight of Cups energy coming through. We had Three of Cups earlier. So again, walking away from lower vibrational things is coming out, but also that connection with others, what we're here to do, how we transmute. Look at that. It's like receiving the spiritual energy and casting it out to transmute it to others. It's being open and available to spirit. The way Lati often says, a conduit for spirit, a pathway. I'm a pathway, a conduit for spirit. An energy network, right? So if you are a light worker, you are an energy network. It is your job to be open to spirit so that you can ground and transmute that energy to others. Three of Swords in reverse. That's where we started. Two of the first cards we got tonight were Three of Cups and Three of Swords in reverse. So that's a double confirmation. You are meant to transmute. You have to learn how to transmute. If you believe you are a light worker, so I believe we are all born with the same inherent gifts and ability to be light workers, to be open to spirit, to be surrendered vessels. But again, it's the depth at which you're willing to meet yourself. That's the things that the shadow work helps with. The depth that you're willing to meet yourself, the depth that you're willing to go to understand your subconscious being, what you're carrying with you and why. Your physical limitations do not define your spiritual limitations. There are no spiritual limitations. We come here, I talked about this the other day in the live, we come here to experience what it's like to be human, to have physical limitations, to forget who we are in spirit, to think of ourselves as a singular being. Why do we do that? So that we can discover, so that we can have our quest, so that we can discover growth, so we can discover the infinite wonder of our soul. The limitless possibilities to be navigated, to navigate around the limitations, right? We come here for the experience of separation. It's an illusion. Birth, the starting of birth, it's an illusion, separation. The moment we come through the birth canal, we cry because we feel separation for the first time. Seemingly the first time. If you're a believer in past lives, you know it's not the first time, but as you're born, you forget those previous lives. Some people remember they're open to spirit much earlier. Kids are way open to spirit more than adults who have programmed themselves to forget. Some of us return to that childlike spirit that is open to receiving. The deeper one surrenders, the brighter their light. When it comes to being a light worker, drawing on spirit. My daughter is a whole different type of starseed. I tell you, Beanie, she is something amazing. She is an amazing little girl. She's an amazing little girl. And I remember a few times when I had visions that she would just like giggle uncontrollably. Like I would be speaking about what I'm seeing to a client, and it's like she could see it. Like she could feel spirit in the room, and she could interact and play with them in ways that I couldn't even grasp at the time. She's got the giggle that just lights up a whole freaking universe. She's a whole other level of trusting God that I could imagine. No. Now, one of the things that I learned with her, and I think we talked about this a couple lives ago when somebody was asking about somebody who had crossed. I think we were talking to Mickey Stein about the orphans being ready to transition and coming to be reborn, coming to another life, coming into another life, and how they can be both. Their higher selves can still be with them and in connection with them, and they can come into this new life, into this world as a new being. And I learned that firsthand through my daughter, because the night that my daughter was conceived, uh, my best friend who had passed away 3 months prior had come to me in a dream, and she had said to me, I like what you did here. And she just sat down, and we were at a music festival in the dream, and she sat down with me and we were listening to music together. And when I woke up the next day, I knew I was pregnant, and I knew it was her. Like nobody could. My ex thought I was crazy. Her dad thought I was crazy because I named her in the womb immediately. And he could not convince me otherwise. Well, what if it's a boy? You don't know that it's Amber. I said, I know it's Amber. I know it's Amber. I have no doubt in my mind that it's Amber. And that will be her name. That will be her name. Talk about speaking it into existence and speaking life, right? Miss Lati is always talking about uh, the word of life and speaking the word of life. And that is one of those cases where I didn't allow anybody. Yeah. So then I didn't allow anybody to convince me otherwise. I knew who it was. I knew what I saw. I knew what I felt. I knew I was pregnant weeks before it could be confirmed. I knew. But since then, Amber has also come to me in spirit. And that's how I know that the higher self of Amber, that I knew is my best friend, I've known her in two of her lives. I'm still connected to her in spirit from her last life, but now I am again connected to her physically in this life. And there's very funny things that have happened that let me know that it really is like, I mean, not that I ever doubted it, but when my best friend was a young girl, she loved like arts and crafts and stuff. We met in art college together, at art school. And when she when she was young, and I don't know what age she was probably 4 or 5 years old. She had, I'm trying to explain the best way. How do you do this? She was like using scissors to cut some paper. And I don't know what she was doing. Like, I don't know how she came to this, but she like pointed the scissors at her eyes and tried to get a closer look, and she damaged the retina of her eye. Yeah, and so her eye had this weird sort of like cut in the iris. Like you could see like her pupil was odd shaped. And I think one of the fascinating things about Amber is that she's legally blind, and when her eyes healed from her laser surgery, the same eye healed differently, and it like it's off center because of the way it healed like oval. So like the focal point in the back of her eye is in a different place, so it causes it looks like a lazy eye, but is really not, because it's not to do with the muscles. It has to do with healing from the laser surgery. But anyways, when Amber was about the same age as my best friend, when she did it to herself, I turned around and I saw Amber with her little pair of scissors looking at him like she was about to poke herself in the eye. And I had to stop her. But it's like those little confirmations that it's her living another life, and like catching those patterns and seeing those things come into existence. It cracks me up. My Amber, like my little girl, she did not stab herself in the eye. I caught her. But the fact that like I was witnessing it happening the same exact way it was described to me by my best friend in her previous life was just it's just too spot on to be a coincidence. You know what I mean? And then I remember when I was having a really hard time. This is another reason why I know she's still connected to me. I was having a really, really hard time. And I missed her so badly one day, and I was bawling. I just wanted a hug from her, you know? And I missed her so much. And the song came on, Saturn by Sleeping at Last, and I would highly recommend listening to the song. And it starts out an instrumental. Now, when my friend Amber passed away, she kept telling me for the 3 months leading up to her death, she kept saying, "My Saturn is rising. My Saturn is rising." Part of me knows, I'm gonna cry, guys, sorry. Part of me knows that she had something wrong with her heart and that it would take her life soon. But she couldn't bring herself to tell us in any other way than "My Saturn is rising." She wouldn't decode it for us and be specific and let us know that they were the last moments we were going to spend with her. I don't know. She didn't want us to feel a certain way while she was there celebrating with us. Sorry, my throat chakra on this one. So she told me, "My Saturn is rising. My Saturn is rising." And after she passed away, after Amber was born, after I got settled into this beautiful apartment, and things were going beautiful, but I just really missed her. I just really, really missed her. And I just really, really wanted to hear from her. The song Saturn came on. And it starts out an instrumental, and I knew it was her. And I didn't even know the name yet. But I could feel it in the instrumental, that it was like the way it was growing, it just felt like I felt it in my soul. And then suddenly, like, it has this crescendo, and it's like angels opening up. And the words in the song just, I wish I had them written down because I don't want to butcher it. "You taught me the courage to start before we go. How life carries on even when we must go." I know I'm getting it wrong. There's this whole part about asking somebody to repeat it before they die, why we're here, and how the whole universe was made to be seen by our eyes. I can't even. You have to listen to it. It's called Saturn by Sleeping at Last. And that was one of the moments when I realized, like really fully realized, that she was still next to me. She's still with me. She's still in me. She's still very much a part of my everyday life, not just because of how I've honored her through my daughter, but being able to see how we can live parallel lives, the past lives, the energy that comes from that part of our soul, and how you can incarnate in a new body and still embody the old soul. I hope that that makes a little sense. Oh, it was a long way to get there. I'm crying, guys. I can't help it. Oh, so I sent you the drawing, Lottie. That's good to know. I know it's out there somewhere. I knew it was out there somewhere. Oh, I'm crying. Oh, I hear Amber giggling in the other room. I'm gonna be accessing it. I just saw like one more deck. I know I wanted to get out of here by midnight or at 2 hours, but I saw something that I wanted. I was being called to it while I was crying, but now I can't focus. I got too many tears in my eyes. She's just so beautiful. What a beautiful soul. She is who I named the channel after, guys. I would not have this channel if it was not for her. I would not have this channel. Aya would not be a thing without her beautiful soul. We call her Aya, and that's my daughter's middle name. And that's why it's Aya inspired. It's not that I am inspiring. It's that Aya inspired me to bring my light to others, to share my light with the world, to keep working on myself, and to keep growing, and to keep becoming. Okay, I remember what deck it was now. We'll call this the last deck for the night. I'm so glad you guys could join me. I know this was a surprise, but I saw this deck, and we'll end with the Lumerian deck. I've just got to get my eyes. This is a deck I associate with my friend Amber, because she, at the time of her death, lived in Mount Shasta, and this book has, or this deck has a Shasta card in it. I don't know if I knew it had a Shasta card when I bought it. I don't think I did, but it's a very good deck for light workers, but it spoke to me. Good night, Lottie. I did not sing nearly enough tonight, guys. I wish I could remember that song more fully, or that I could do it some justice. You should definitely check it out. Have a good night, Lottie. I'll see you hopefully for the morning message. She showed me. She showed me. Thank you, Spirit. Literally from the song. The song speaks on infinity, you know, on being infinite. She showed me the infiniteness of spirit, the infiniteness of a soul, how we can transverse, how we become a journey to wholeness and our ancient future. This is what she showed me, how infinite we are, how expansive we truly are, how separation is an illusion. How separation is an illusion. Not just that it's an illusion, but how is it an illusion? She really helped me learn how to stay connected to spirit. Through surrender. Thank you. Surrender. Being surrendered. Again, are you surrendering to your highest timeline? And if so, what does that look like? What would it look like to surrender yourself to that highest timeline, to take yourself to that new frequency, to carry yourself further, higher, beyond what you believe you can do. Shine your light. Shine your light. If you are a light worker, surrender to spirit. Allow yourself to absorb and transmit your powerful message, your powerful being, your powerful ability to ground and transmute. Thank you, Spirit. Sometimes we do that through vulnerability, through being willing to cry, being willing to share, being willing to, as Lati would put it, put testimony to tarot, you know, to speak our stories, to share them, to compare them, to contrast them. Those are ways that we can move with purpose when we surrender to spirit, by finding our voice, by speaking. Yes, we all have absolute unique gifts. And we bring it back to the soul star chakra. I was talking earlier, it says merging with the divine. I was talking earlier about seeing the star card and seeing that energy with the star card of a new beginning, a hope for a new beginning, a vision for the future. What is that highest timeline? What is that vision? Even if you don't have a plan to step towards it, can you see it? Can you see it? If you can see it, you can solidify it. You can put it into action. You can take it from potential to kinetic. Didn't I say I was seeing the Hopi ladder? I swear I said it a bazillion times. If you were with me from the beginning, you know I talked about the Hopi ladder. You know, that path of ascension. And look at that star seer. That path of ascension calling you. Express your truth, throat chakra. I just said that, through sharing our stories, connecting with each other. We come here to experience the limitations of our physical body, but we also come here to ascend, to evolve. Again, with that throat chakra energy, to speak, to transmute, to transmit. I'm getting transmute. Like transmitting is a form of transmuting. Thank you, Spirit. Whoo, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for the 28 lights. If you would like to, I said lights. Yes, every last one of you. Thank you. Thank you for your light. Thank you for sharing it. As we continue to grow, I want to try to find, here, radical expansion. As the collective continues to grow, I want to try to find these times and spaces in our schedules, right? To come together and connect in these ways and to have these deeper conversations. The things that heal us, right? The things that bring us together, the things that help us transmute collectively, right? It sometimes gets hard to do the list and do a bunch of personals. It takes a lot of energy. So I appreciate you guys coming out and supporting me tonight as we do this collective reading. Do remember that if you would like to book a personal, the links are in the bio. You can find them on my page. I appreciate you so much for showing up and showing out tonight. giving me a little bit of your light and your love and sharing and helping me transmute and helping me to bring to you the light that is Zaya, who will really help you get to know where I'm coming from, where I've been, and where I'm going. And I too am open to knowing you guys more deeply, where you're coming from and where you're headed to as well. Hopefully, God willing, you're headed towards your ascension. If you're not already on that journey of ascension and that journey of expansion, I am praying for you that you do take up your healing seriously and that you understand that it's something that is not too overwhelming and impossible. The sound of the universe. Yeah, listen to spirit. Listen to spirit. We're just talking about the limitation of the body, right? We're talking about the limitations of the human body. And I see this this throat chakra energy coming through. And then what's coming out on the heels of that is ether, the seamless, unspeakable, the unspoken things, the frequencies that we feel, that we transmute. A lot of it comes through the words, but a lot of it, much more of it comes through spirit. I'm seeing like the spectrum of visible light in comparison to the actual spectrum of energy. It's very small. It's the same thing with the audible sounds. The spectrum of audible sounds is very minute compared to the actual spectrums of sound that is out there that we are being affected by every day, that we're being gracious receptivity. Thank you, evolution. You're so sweet, spirit. We are evolving, guys. We're here to do that together. If you're not evolving, what are you doing? If you're not evolving, what are you doing? What are you doing with your time? I remember one time I told my friend, I hope my daughter is smarter than me. I hope that she challenges me, because that means that I've done my job, that I've brought somebody in willing to evolve. That's evolution. Our kids should be smarter than us. Our kids should be able to teach us something about the world. Our kids should be able to challenge the way that we grew up learning things, because they have access to new information. They are evolved. They are evolving. They should be smarter than us. My mom hated that us kids were smarter than her. She hated when her kids questioned her, when we showed that we were smarter or wiser about something, when we questioned whether or not something was efficient or effective. She hated that. In old generations, it was considered disrespectful, right? You had to respect your elders. But I think we learn a lot from evolution. Our children should become smarter. We should want them to be smarter. We should want them to teach us. And we should want to lead them to knowing that they can. Whoo, spirit. What beautiful messages tonight. Thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to try to do it weekly if I could remember to keep it in the schedule. If ever Friday night comes along and you don't see me pop on and you know how to reach out to me and shoot me a message and remind me, I'll try to make space for it. If you enjoyed this evening, let me know. Go back and I made a post with a poll, and if you enjoyed this evening and you want to see more collective readings, go ahead and take the poll. Leave a comment. Let me know you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave comments on the videos and let me know whether or not things resonated with you and what resonated and why. We're here to share. We're here to share. It's not just me sharing my energy with you. I could not do it without the collective. I appreciate you so much. Every like, every subscribe helps get the message out there, helps YouTube know where we are in the algorithm and where we need to head. So until next time, guys, please do stay inspired. Love you so much. Bye.